paper magic will survive like the heat death of the universe, and will...
Oh, it's a smuggler's copter. Would you like to crew this? And then it crashes because they don't understand arithmetic.
All your cards belong to me.
2 minutes into macing him in the eyeballs, I switched to pepper spray. He's like, yeah, it's downright refreshing. And went back to the mace.
Magic is dying. I'm done. Selling everything.
I might be a hoarder. And
I
yes,
don't have the crayons or glue to explain this to you right now.
What, are you gonna die twice?
Oil will be worthless before magic cards will.
well, okay, Dr. Man.
That's Mr. Dr. Professor Jason.
Hello, everybody. Welcome into Brainstorm Brewery. I'm Corbin Hostler, joined by Cass and Jason this week. DJ is not with us. He's too worn out from all the rock climbing. Is that still a thing he does? It's hard to keep up. Kind of like him on a rock wall, you know?
Because he falls.
Yeah, that
He can
was
just
really
go wherever
funny.
he wants on that,
That
rock
was
while
really
he's
funny.
scurrying around
Thank
like
you.
a bug.
Nah, he fell. The joke is he fell.
Remember that time he injured himself badly and couldn't do an activity he enjoys for a while?
That's me getting carpal tunnel from playing too much Magic.
Yeah, that's why you got carpal tunnel.
Yeah.
What are you
I've been
implying?
I've been playing
I'm
a lot of WoW
implying that you
recently.
don't play
A lot of Magic.
very
Is that what
much
you're saying,
Magic.
Jason?
What?
Yeah.
I play like 15 matches of Sanctioned Magic a week.
Oh.
They're
So
not
many.
that week. Yeah,
That's
it's
so
fine.
Do you play any arena, Cass?
I'm fully clean on Arena. I was Arena sober for the last that I bought packs for was Wilds of Eldraine. Or sorry, Throne of Eldraine, not Wilds.
Good for you. I am. I play a lot of. I'd say I play arena 5 days a week out of 7.
And you disgust me because of that. That you're a worse person.
I spend maybe $400 a year, maybe once every set release or less.
I'm like 11 months clean of Moto also. Something about paper Magic cards, just like getting back to it was like, why am I playing online? It's just worse.
Well, yeah.
Because
I mean,
we had to.
Well, yeah, but
that's
like
part of it.
Now
yeah.
we don't.
Now we don't.
I like arena because arena is a video game. I can like edit an article, be editing an article, edit a section, pull up an arena game or a draft, spend 10 minutes on it, go back to work, and it's just a thing I can do in between when I'm spending 5 hours working on it, right? So that's
The thing
kind
is,
of
like,
the whole point for me.
Arena's got to be the worst video game you've played recently, right? Like, if I'm playing a video game, I don't want to play Magic the Gathering, but worse, I want to play like, I don't know, anything else. I'll play Power Wash Simulator first.
Well, it's a matter of
I would
length,
play
right?
a Power Wash Simulator, though.
I do play other
It's
games,
a game that's
right?
available, and apparently it's quite fun.
I play
it sounds
League.
like it, but I own a Power Washer, so why would I simulate it? I have a dirty house.
It's the middle of the night, Jason. Come on.
It's 2 a.m. You don't have to put on pants. That's why you're Power Wash simulating.
You don't have to put on pants.
Not if it's 2 a.m. Who's going to see me?
Exactly.
I guess you live in the middle of nowhere. That makes sense.
I live in a subdivision.
You live in a fake state.
Fair.
I live next to the seat of power of the world, you mother...
And what have you done with that?
Hey,
renting.
hold up, speaking of, this is
You
a
stayed
topic.
home on January 6th, you coward. If you're going to be that close.
I actually
Jason,
remember-
this is one for you. This is up your alley. I recently watched the movie Civil War.
Yeah.
Have you all seen that?
Yeah.
haven't seen it, but no interest.
A24, baby.
What the hell were your thoughts?
It was a good movie, and anybody says they won a civil war on either side is a fucking dipshit.
You thought it was a good movie?
Yeah, you didn't?
Who was your favorite character?
I'm not going to say Jesse Plemons. I wasn't impressed. It's like, can you believe they got him last minute? Yeah, he's married to What's-Her-Nuts. My favorite character was the guy that's like, are you a fucking idiot? I just said I don't know what side they're on. They're shooting at us, we're shooting at them. That was the best character in the movie, because that's the
You're
point,
right,
man.
You're
That
right. A
movie-
random side character was the best character in the movie. Thank
Yeah.
you. This movie sucks.
Because he explained the movie to dumb people.
Y'all want to know what I was doing on January 6th?
What's that?
Gooning.
Maybe at some point in the day. I don't remember exactly that part. I made homemade cheeseburgers.
Oh,
And I was
that's
watching...
nice. Celebrating the inauguration. Good for you.
Yeah, no, I just was making cheeseburgers, and we were watching Rocky Horror Picture Show for the first time, and I hated it.
The first time?
What?
It was not particularly good.
I don't like it either.
Why do you like coming on this show to, like, destroy your queer community credibility? I don't...
So that's the thing, is I think
It's
liking it makes you a
self-destructive
baby gay.
behavior. Who are you going to
Making-
impress?
liking it makes you a baby gay.
I get, and that makes you an elder millennial gay, I think.
I think that it was like a shorthand for a lot of things 20 years ago, right? Like,
Yeah, I'm sure
You
it was
know.
very important. Like, that's fine. I just didn't like it. I don't know. It's not an indictment of the movie. I'm sure it's good to some people. I just didn't like it.
It's the whole Carlin wasn't funny thing.
well, anyways, we're going to talk some Magic this week, and we may as well begin by just jumping into it. It's everyone's favorite segment. Well, I should rephrase. It's my favorite segment because I win it basically every week. It's time for Breaking.
Breaking bulk time. Breaking bulk time. Break.
Oh, yeah, breaking bulk. There's so much good stuff.
It's a pick. Breaking bulk. The end.
I love it. No one challenges that I win it every week. Perfect. In that case, I'll start it off by stumping you all with something that should seem really obvious. I'm talking about a green uncommon from Magic Origins.
Only
Is this
Magic
the 3-mana
Origins?
enchantment? This
I'm
is either
sorry?
Zendikar's Royal, like the 5-mana landfall, make a 2/2, or it's the 3-mana, like when you play a creature with certain power, you draw a card. One of those two.
I'm going to need one guess.
We'll start with Zendikar's Royal.
Nope, it's the other one. Jason, why don't you go?
I know that card.
Jason, why don't you guess the other one?
It's got like Nissa touching the ground or something.
Yeah, it's not Garrick's Uprising. It's the other one.
Yeah.
Elemental's Bond. No. I'm sorry. It's the other. The point is, whatever you said, it was going to be the other one.
Yeah.
Oh.
There are two green uncommons.
That's a 30 rock bit you're doing.
Yeah, there
That's,
are two green uncommons worth money in Magic Origins. Elemental Bond and Zendikar's Royal. You named them. These have actually kind of, I think, without looking at it, kind of fluctuated back and forth in price over time and reprints and that sort of thing.
That's because
Zendikar's
both of
Royal
them get printed a lot because they're
Yeah.
EDH auto includes in a lot of
reasonable.
decks.
Yeah, Zendikar's Royal at the moment is only $1, but Elemental Bond at the moment is in fact $5. So
I drafted a
Take
lot
it
of
easy.
Origins, and so every couple of years I just like go through a box of cards and I find like 5 more Origins draft decks. I'm like, oh cool, there's $3 more.
yeah, I did that format a bunch. That was like a really heavy coverage time for GPs, and we were drafting a lot. I had
have
a
a lot
ton
of
of Shaman of
stamped
the
Origins
Packs in my
cards.
box. I thought
Those are
Shaman of the
pretty
Pack
fun
was going to
set.
be $3 one day.
Yeah. I think we all did. That card screamed $3 and then was a nickel.
I mean, it was good, right? It was good in Modern for a minute, but just for a minute.
Some cards take so long to do what you assumed they would do in 2015 that they haven't done them by 2019. You're like, well, I guess I just suck balls at finance, and then
Well,
then you sell them, and then they go up, and you're like, I definitely suck balls at finance.
Well, and some amount like Modern had been power crept or whatever. So like it was pretty reasonable at the time when Golgari Elves was a tier 1.5 deck that a lot of people liked playing, and the only expensive card in it were the Guiltleaf Palaces and the collected
Middleton was like
companies.
$12, dude.
Yeah, well, it was expensive and collected companies, but that was it, right? And then like Heritage Druids, right, were like $5. So it was like, yeah, this deck can support a lot of cards in this range, and I don't think Shaman of the Pack ever got over $1.
When you think about it, like in hindsight, the supply on Shaman of the Pack versus the supply of Heritage Druid, just like, what were we thinking?
That is exactly. Yes, you're right. Exactly
It
right.
also did get a reprint fairly quickly in Eternal Masters, if I remember correctly.
It eventually did, and that kind of more or less killed it. But it wasn't. I don't think. But yes, you're exactly right. That's the point. Is Heritage Druid and Shaman of the Pack both uncommons, not made the same.
Not all cards are made the same. I think I
Made
might start both
different.
of you with mine
Oh boy.
this week.
Mm.
It's a Brothers War Black Uncommon.
God, I don't know what anything in this
Brothers
set's
War?
called.
I don't know anything from that set, so you're gonna stump me because I've never seen a single card from that
You
set.
sacrifice an artifact.
No.
You
Is it
enchant an artifact?
Murder with the Sets mechanic? Is it Power
No.
Stone Murder Fist?
No.
It's an enchantment.
No.
It's a creature.
No.
It's an
It's a-
instant.
It is an instant.
Oh,
Okay, I nailed it. Corbin,
take
Take
us
us
home.
home, buddy.
you do the
Yeah.
rest. I nailed it.
Okay, so we got a black instant from
Uncommon
Brothers War.
from Brothers War.
So it's got to be a standard card, which means maybe I've heard of it.
Does it have to be a standard card? Just because I haven't heard of it doesn't mean it's not an EDH card.
Could be a commander card.
It's I have no idea what it is.
So this one's a little tricky, and you might contest.
Oh God.
My framing on
DJ
it.
or DJ
but
rules.
It has a black
and I know it's
border.
Go for the throat. No.
But the Mirrored and Besieged one is not a pull. The Brothers War one is. The Brothers War one has a 45-cent buy list. Mirrored and Besieged one does not have a buy list.
You just need to tell us it was reprinted. That's my only contention.
I mean, why should I told you all the information.
We could have asked.
You could have asked.
Spelling bee rules, you know. That was a tool in our arsenal, and we didn't use it. Like, think about it. Everyone memes on the spelling bee kids because they get up there and ask a bunch of dumb questions. But imagine getting the word wrong and having not
Nobody
asked.
memes on those kids.
Yes, they do.
Casuals, okay?
There's literal SNL skits about it.
They're casuals. They're not
There's
real
Key and
scripts.
Peele skits about it.
Yeah, you know, I think SNL really has a finger on the pulse of the youth these days. Also, I did lie. The Mirrored and Besieged one does have a buy list, but it's not a good one. It's not a relevant one.
Reasonable. I don't think nickels don't count anymore, right? Like back in the day, 10 years ago when we started this, like I think
no,
DJ
because
would pick nickels
everything is at least a nickel because it's like, oh, well, on TCG Player it's being sold for 25 cents.
Yeah, well, I will say that at my son's 8-year-old baseball games, they sell bubble gum for a nickel a piece at the concession stand, which feels like a real throwback. Like, I'm not even
They're
convinced
breaking
that
even,
nickels,
even buying
nickels
in
should
bulk
be,
at Costco. Why would you want to break even on bubble gum?
I don't, dude. It's everything's cheap as hell. It's amazing.
Oh, you know who did that? I bet the dentist.
Yeah.
Whoever the dentist in town's like, yeah, nickel for
the
bubble
dentist
gum.
who sponsors it.
Yeah,
It's no, it's wild though. Like I don't even think nickels and pennies should be in circulation at this point.
I don't think. Pretty soon it'd be like cash will be like Bitcoin. Is be like, wow, why do you have $100 bills? Are you doing drug deals? Like,
There's a
who
fake.
has
There's
cash?
there's a fake news meme going around right now that Starbucks is going cashless. And I saw a real human being that I know in real life who said I went into Starbucks and asked them about this, and they looked at me like I was crazy.
You know who's cash? Amusement parks are cashless now, and it's so much better.
Yeah.
It's like I brought all
True.
this cash. They're like, don't worry, we have a machine over there where you put the cash in and it gives you a card. It's like a Bizarro ATM.
I'm gonna be real. I hate this credit card. I love putting exact cash on a table and leaving a restaurant, just like put it down and walking out. It's so nice not have to like get someone to like track someone down, take your card, run it, bring it back. Just like, oh, the bill is $35. I'll put 45 down. Big tip. Feeling good today. Walk out the door.
I mean, yeah, I get it.
I always have cash because, you know, people sell
There's
me
something-
cards. I
There's
always
something
have
about pulling out
cash.
a wad of cash and like counting it out and like figuring out how much money you got to give. So it's just something very human about it.
When I played poker a lot, I
bet you
always
own a
carrying
typickyper.
$500 or $600
That's
in
some
cash
boomery
around.
shit right there.
My keyboard is as clicky as a typewriter. This thing right here, mechanical keyboard with LAD switches. Hit him with a little.
What's wrong
I'm
with
in
a
the-
glass of warm milk and an episode of Orphan Annie on the radio before you go to bed? What's wrong
I
with
mean, that sounds pretty chill.
Well, see, look, this is how they get you. I'm in a spot where my new debit card came. We lost it. It's floating somewhere around the house. Who the hell knows? Can't find it.
When you find that debit card, it'll be with all that stuff that Ultra Pro sent us. Wherever you lost that to.
What are you talking about?
Didn't Ultra Pro send us a bunch of shit and you lost it? Who was it that sent us stuff that you can't find?
No one ever sent me anything, Jason, that was not found.
Oh, you're Imagine Dragonsing me right now. All right. It's time for my breaking book. I wrote a song even though nobody asked me to. I got a green card that is common both times it was printed.
What was the first time it was printed, Jason?
The second time. The first time was... No, the first time was Future Sight. This green common was originally printed in Future Sight.
Sprout Swarm.
No.
What was the second time it was printed, Jason?
Conspiracy.
Could you please use that in a sentence?
The first time this card was printed was Future Sight, and the second time was Conspiracy.
Is it Rapid Vigor?
Vigor.
It is Rap in
Oh, we nailed it
Vigor.
same time. Let's fucking
I didn't
go.
even have to give Corbin the language of origin.
That card's sweet.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I would never play this in a deck. It's weird.
No.
Well, I do think it's kind of a I don't know about, is it like a budget replacement kind of thing?
For like heroic intervention or whatever.
Yes, I think that's the context I've actually seen it in, mentioned in recently, is that, regenerate all creatures you control for 2 mana and sent for $1 for Future Sight or Conspiracy is a lot cheaper than $10 heroic intervention, and usually you're protecting for board wipes. That's the idea. But Jason, you would just play heroic intervention.
Something.
I
But
would
yeah,
just get my money up. I would simply get more bands.
That
and
is what
buy
it comes
heroic
down to
intervention.
on that one, yeah. Well, we used to do a
wait till I
short-lived
get my mana right.
a short-lived segment on this show back during the pandemic called Sudden Substitution. We were making YouTube videos and everything for them. That was just, hey, what budget replacements can we recommend for expensive commander staples, like, say, Cyclonic Rift or whatever? And what we found out is that after getting through maybe 8 to 10 of these things, it both became very difficult to find cards that were expensive enough in Commander that also had, like, budget replacements that were even reasonable to suggest for 3 of us. Like,
I mean,
Yeah.
$2 is not a budget deck card, but it is cheaper than a heroic intervention.
right. And, like, yeah, and our segments is like, we're talking about Cyclonic Rift, but then you're recommending a $10 card because it's like, okay, yes, that's better, but, like, what are we really? I mean, anyway, it was an interesting segment, but
if you can't afford
did
a
not
Mox
have-
Pearl, have you tried a Mox Diamond?
yeah, it did not necessarily have a lot of depth, at least not for a recurring podcast segment. What will be recurring on this podcast, though, is Duskmorn, because Duskmorn is coming out very soon. Now, you might think Duskmorn, that's the Halloween set, right? That's coming out in October. No, you would be wrong, because actually, that's what I thought. It turns out Magic Foundations is coming out in October, and Duskmorn, the Halloween set, is coming out in September.
Is corresponding with Beetlejuice in theaters now. Just in time for a month before Halloween.
I mean, look, you want your product
It's a
on
movie that
shelves.
takes place on Halloween Eve, by the way.
Sure. I mean, you want your product to be on shelves before Halloween. Like, we went into Costco yesterday and bought our big Halloween decoration for the year. So this is the time of year
Is
people are
it a
getting into
13-foot
Halloween.
skeleton?
It is not. It is a
Oh.
giant, like, pumpkin-y scarecrow thing. I don't know. It was less expensive than some.
I gotta be honest, I really thought that last November there would be some regret sales of 13-foot skeletons,
No one did.
and I could get one for cheap, but no.
The kind of
Yeah.
motherfucker who buys one of those things is the kind of motherfucker who knows what
That's
they're about.
ride or die for that bony. Yeah, I
Hey,
get it.
they're
like,
pretty cool. I'm not
they're
gonna
rad.
lie.
I want one so bad, but I don't want to pay full price like a cuck, you know?
How much are
So,
they?
like,
I mean, look,
I
I'm
don't
sure you
know.
can Facebook Marketplace it, but just Jason, I think maybe you can just get your money up and get yourself a.
I know we project financial independence on this case.
It's only
and, like,
$169.99.
Exactly.
What?
Exactly.
They're $170. I'm an
Yeah,
asshole
there's-
for not paying. Oh my god, I paid more than that for
What I'm
Chinese food.
talking
All right,
about.
let's do it.
That
You
might, that,
are an
that might not
adult.
even be true. That's a quick.
Maybe they're-
It's like $300.
Maybe they're $300. You're an adult. Go buy yourself the stupid giant
That's
skeleton.
barely a tundra.
If so many people
I don't want
didn't,
kids to come to my house, and this will keep them away. That's a good point.
if so many people didn't have them already, I would have snap got one. But we'd already got Bennett thing. So now we've got a big spider. We've got tombstones. We've got a skeleton that is motion activated, and now we've got gonna have a big scarecrow guy. So yeah, it's very fun. Halloween's great. That was the point, is that I was looking at Magic cards at Costco. I don't remember how we got onto that. Halloween's great. Duskmorn. Duskmorn is coming out. It looks great. We have pretty much the full spoiler now, I believe. Rooms look pretty cool. So
Rooms
it's
are
interesting.
rad.
I'm seeing a really mixed reaction to it online, where some people are like, I'm one of them, I guess, and this is the best set ever. This is so cool. This is stuff we didn't really think we could see. Because some people are like, like Jason, who are like, man, I don't like it. It's tacky or whatever. Some people are like, I hate this because it's grotesque, and I liked Bloomborough with its cute animals, and Bloomborough was super popular, and this is not that, and I hate it. So it's very interesting how divisive the reactions are just to the aesthetic of the set.
This is just like Temu version of horror. I don't know. It's just one of those things where, I don't know, it's like Beetlejuice in theaters now.
What's wrong with Beetlejuice?
The shrunken head guy was funny, but then they're like, oh, you like the shrunken head guy? Here's 8 shrunken head guys.
Look, I agree. As far as Beetlejuice goes in particular, I cannot stand that song that they do in the first one. And they obviously have throwback to it in the trailer. And I'm like,
it's worse. It's like a full
in
4 minutes of MacArthur Park. It made me myself.
I never want to see this movie, just for the record. But I understand your complaint. But here's, do you think there's something to the idea, like, and maybe we touched on this with Murders of Karlov Manor, like, is magic getting, can they be too realistic? Can they be too real? Like, is that actually a concern with this
Tonight we're here to talk about the ooh-ification of magic. Liberals, they can't handle scary things in their fantasy anymore. That's true. Too woke.
It's true.
You heard it here first, folks. Magic is too woke to be cool.
Heard it here first, you said. They haven't heard that anywhere else. Well, we'll see, because, Murders at Karlov Manor, I think it really hurt their SEO or whatever. I don't think that's necessarily a concern when it comes to Duskmorn. I do think them spelling it without the E at the end is pretty rough for everyone who...
what brain genius decided to make the name of your set Murder when every algorithm on every platform suppresses that word?
I don't think they thought about it.
Unaliving at Karlov Manor.
That's what I'm thinking, like...
It's a murder mystery. You're going to call it mystery at You're going to call it mystery at Karlov Manor?
Maybe you just make a better concept. Maybe you just, don't make an episode about cops.
You know what they should have called it? They should have called it Mr. Beast at Karlov Manor. That's how you do SEO, you idiots.
That's a 2027 set, Jason.
We put 40 planeswalkers in one mansion. You'll never believe what happened.
Look, you guys, you're doing that stupid thing, man. You're doing that thing where you try to, I don't remember what the law is, but you're trying to parody what a secret lair can be. And you don't understand that it is impossible to parody what is actually going to happen.
I know, we're going to look like we were underreacting in 4 years when people go back and watch it.
I am telling
what's the worst that could happen? There could be a Ghostbusters secret lair or something?
I am afraid of that, actually.
That is a real thing, Jason.
I know it is, and I'm going to buy 100 of them and open them all because busting makes me feel good.
Secret Lair, College Football Playoff 2026 National Champion.
But the players better not get paid. If it's college football, I like my college football traditional.
Now you're being old, man.
And that's where athletes are not reimbursed for their appearance in games.
Well, what they do now is for NCAA football, they literally paid every college football player in the country $600 to use their likeness.
$600.
Every player.
Get you 2 13-foot skeletons.
What is a guy... What is a guy who is not allowed to earn money and therefore gets paid in steak and blowjobs going to do with $600?
Jason, you're not. Jason, your brain is stuck. You're being old, man. That's not how it works. College football players get paid millions of dollars.
College football players get paid millions?
Yes, Jason.
Is that real? I can't tell if you're doing a bit.
Yes, it's real. Name, image, likeness has been in place for years now. There are college football players making millions of dollars. Even players who are not, like, a player goes to college, they commit somewhere. They go their freshman year. Their entire freshman year, they get recruited by other schools who are just literally offering them to pay them more from their collective. That gives them money for their, quote, name, image, likeness. But really what it is donors pooling money to just give money to players to come play for them. So you have to recruit your own players back every year, because there's no union or CBA or anything that says you can't do all this at any time. It's an incredible show. But yes, college football players are being paid.
That sounds really complicated for a school like Michigan State that couldn't seem to keep their and staff members from molesting people on a national level.
Such as this, I mean, college sports as a whole is basically dead, right? In terms of what it was when you're.
I wish
what
it was
you're
slavery,
thinking of
like it used
20
to be.
years ago. Wait, it's better now.
Put that one in writing, JJ.
College
Big bubble
sports
letters on
are
the screen.
college
I
sports
miss
are more
slavery.
humane. They're more humane and less fun. That's
So-
what it is.
Let's talk about something cool and happy. Y'all heard of Mudang? The Thai baby hippo named Bouncy Pork, who's always wet and screaming.
No.
Look up Mudeng. It's Mudeng. Look this little guy up. This is the most important thing in my life right now. Look at this. I'm gonna hold my phone up to the screen for the people
He's
on
a tiny
YouTube.
little
That's gonna be
pygmy
helpful.
hippo. He's
Look
the
at
size
that.
of a little doggy.
She has a promotional tie-in with like a blush brand, the same shade of pink as her cheeks.
She's very.
She's
pink.
perfect. She's perfect. She's always screaming, always incredibly wet. Just peak human performance.
She's
but a
noted
hippo.
to be more playful and energetic than the other hippopotamuses.
It's true.
The zoo announced they will sell clothing and other merchandise featuring designs based on Mudang.
I would get a Mudang tattoo tomorrow.
A cake shop called Vetmon Cafe, which created a realistic cake shaped like her. Sephora posted a makeup tutorial inspired by her. Aw. I want my wife to have Mudang makeup so I can tell her why she did it afterward. Watch this tutorial and then... and then she sees the picture at the end. This is what you look like now. I just want to get in a fight with my wife.
Okay.
Before we Cass and I were talking about how I'm not sure I could take her.
Your wife, to be clear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I could take her in a fight, but not 100% of the time. And those seem like rookie numbers. If there's a 1% chance my wife could beat me in a physical fight, I gotta get my numbers up.
Yeah,
Don't you
I
think?
guess so.
I give her even odds. It's, you know.
Here's the thing.
It's kept me
Jason.
very respectful.
There's nothing to replace practice, so you should just try fighting your wife sometime.
I should get somebody that's a lot like my wife and fight them. That would be a nice farce where my wife thinks I'm cheating and then she like busts in and expects me to see some woman and like
You're
She's
wrestling.
just like-
choking me.
You're in Extramarital Fight Club.
Yeah.
That's the name of the episode, by the way, is Extramarital Fight Club.
I like that episode title. I think at some point though, Jason, like, no, I'm not going to go into it. I was going to. No.
Get into it, man. There's
Nope.
nothing else going on. Do you want to talk
Nope.
about fear of burning alive?
I want to talk about what
The roller crusher ride? No, man. You want to talk about
I like
me
these
cheating
cards,
on my wife
Jason.
with a sparring partner.
No, I like these Dustborn cards. I'm excited for the set. I'm deep on booster boxes of collector boosties. I'm excited for it. I'm also excited to talk about my pick of the week.
Pick of the week, pick of the week, pick of the week. Time for the pick of the week.
Because my pick of the week is related to a card that is a deck that is spiking back in Modern. Because if you don't know, there were some bans in Modern a while back, and now there's new decks. The format has not just become all Mardu or Boros Energy like we feared, despite, that being a thing. It's also not become all Ruby Medallion Storm. It's not become all Mono Black Necro. You can do a lot of stuff. Like, for instance, draw 3 cards and then discard 3 cards randomly on the first turn of the game.
Burning Inquiry.
And then you can play some hollow ones for free. Because
Love that.
that's
Psychic
what we
Frog
do.
goes good there too, huh?
Yeah, it sure does, huh?
The worst card in your deck?
So, fun fact about the card Burning Inquiry and Psychic Frog is the day before the Modern Pro Tour, Ely Cassis posted a deck list with those cards and Vengevine in it, and I was like, this deck looks sweet.
I saw that
bought
too.
Fine.
I bought Burning Inquiries, and I'm like, I'll play this deck. This deck looks
Yes.
like it's my jam. First match I see of the Pro Tour stream is just him playing Nadu, and I'm like, you motherfucker.
Yeah, he got me, dude. I literally was like messaging him and was going to be like, hey, sweet deck, Ely. I can't wait to... I want to really talk to you about this for content. And then I actually looked at the back-end tools at his deck list, and I was like, whoa, what
You son of a.
Because I was like, wait a minute, Team CFB or whatever is on like an innovative deck. That's so.
I
cool.
want to play a Vengevine deck in something.
But you know what, Jason? Show up to Eternal Weekend 2024 and you can play Squeevine in Vintage. Just need 4 Bazaars, no other power. You know what? If we're promoting, you all should go to this place in Fairfax, Virginia called Courtside Tie. It's really good, little mom and pop place. They go to their own little peppers and like in the courtyard that you eat at. Place is great. They don't get enough people there because there's a competition place that's been around for longer, but their Courtside's good. You should go to Courtside.
All right, I don't know if you all talked about this bit from Hollow 1, if you're aware of this, but do you know about Detective's Phoenix?
Yeah, that card bangs. That card gives your creature flying for 1 mana.
Yeah, it does. Collect evidence.
Detective Phoenix from the courtroom game on the Game Boy?
Nope.
Yeah.
Detective Phoenix, right?
Yeah, they did a they did
Detective's possessive.
They did a secret lair, and they turned it into a phoenix, an actual phoenix, on Bloomborough.
It's got one.
But you know
sorry,
what?
murders.
Yeah.
Sorry,
but on
not
Arena,
Bloomborough.
it turned into a Phoenix Online, which is not as good as a real university.
Okay. Perfect. Anyway, yeah, this is a sweet one, and it's like near bulk rare in this deck because for 1 mana you can collect Evidence 6 and turn your Hollow ones into flying and haste on turn 2 or whatever. So it's a really sweet addition to the deck.
I've also seen this card being played with Death Shadow, exiling like Street Wraith or Troll of Khazad-dûm to give your Death Shadow flying and haste.
There you
+2,
go.
+2.
That's pretty sick, actually.
Yeah. That was
And
actually the
this
first
deck-
deck that one of my buddies brewed up with MH3 was just like red-black Shadow with this.
That's great. And the deck also plays Nethergoyf, right? So that obviously is also pretty good. Is just the Phoenix gives you an enchantment for your Nethergoyf. So, I mean, outside of that, it's a Hollow 1 deck, and it is cool. So that's where we're at in Modern.
Were there creatures with Shadow and Time Spiral?
Yeah. A couple of them. There's Outriders. No, Outriders on card flanking. What's one I'm thinking of? Were there creatures with Shadow and Time Spiral? There were, right?
I think there were a few. I was just thinking, like, Shadow's one of those mechanics that it's like, remember Horsemanship where people like, oh, you can just like destroy all creatures with Rolling Earthquake because of Horsemanship's not really flying. I kind of like the not really flying abilities, and Shadow's one of those ones that's like, I don't know, people aren't prepared for it. I'm glad they were all like 2 mana 2/1s and not like there's not like a 4 mana 6/6 shadow creature or something. But like, yeah.
Well, there's
Looter Ilkor was the Time Spiral one.
Yeah, and that's a looter too.
Yeah. That's
Nether Trader has Shadow.
Oh, yeah.
Temporal Isolation gives a creature Shadow.
Yes, I love that one. It prevents all the damage and it gives it Shadow. That was such a tech removal spell back in old Extended. I remember that card. Well, you know where we find most of these cards, by the way, when we're looking up prices? It's on MTGstocks. The best resource on the internet for all of your Magic the Gathering financial information and news. Also, your Pokemon information and news. I use Pika Stocks quite a bit myself, but you should go check out MTGstocks. Look at the premium side of the website where you can look at monthly trends, which I find to be incredibly helpful, as well as set up custom alerts and lists for anything you want to track. We all use MTGstocks almost every single day. We use it for this podcast, and we love it. So
you said that in your podcaster voice, though. It doesn't sound like we use MTGstocks every single day, because you said
I do.
We use MTGstocks every single day, like some dude says they use Rocket Money. We actually use MTGstocks, though. That's not ad copy. We use this.
Thank you. You're right. We also use it for our picks of the week. So I'm looking at Hollow 1 this week. What are you looking at, Jason?
I just bought some Vengevines.
Nice.
Hollow 1 for your pick of the week. I mean, if that deck ever does take, it's one of those things like.
Oh, it's taken off. But like I would have picked Burning Inquiry, except Burning Inquiry's already gone from $1 to $5.
Yeah.
Goblin Lore has already started to go back up. Right. Hollow 1 is still 50 cents, and it's got a game day promo that's about $2-3, which I really.
Oh
like.
yeah.
I really like the retro one actually from Time Spell Remastered as my pick up there if I'm getting any of them.
Yeah.
My pick of the week this week is, I think it's a card I've picked before, but I'm really just reemphasizing it because now the data is backing me and not just anecdotal stuff.
Yeah.
Well, when that happens, that took me 5 years for that to start to happen.
I'm talking about Barrowgoyf again.
Ooh.
This card, both the extended art version and the regular version have buy lists at or above retail.
Yeah,
The Ripple Foil version is kind of a bit of a mess because all the Ripple Foils are kind of a mess, but this card keeps proving itself as one of the prominent threats in Legacy, especially out of sideboards, as a non-blue way to stabilize. It's just Tarmogoyf with extra stuff, and turns out that's really good. And its only printings were in MH3 Commander and then in Collector Boosters. And Modern Horizons 3 was like, what, 3 sets ago at this point?
Yeah, this is a great pick because it's done exactly what you want to see over the past 2 months. It's just slowly climbed a few dollars each month. And it's
we're going to have Eternal Weekend happen, and it's going to be everywhere. And this card is going to be one that if you don't have them, they're going to be a lot more expensive, and you're going to wish you had bought them when I told you to both times. So
yeah, good call. Because it's going to be $20 after this. Like it's just climbed since June from like 7 to 10 or whatever to 11. It's going to be $20. Great pick. All right, Jason, what are you looking at?
I'm looking at Reconnaissance, the 2 recent printings of Reconnaissance, one in a Secret Lair drop and one in Assassin's Creed, has brought the price of the Exodus one down below $10. Nice. I think Reconnaissance is just a cheap pickup. I don't think it matters. I think you might want to buy some of the Assassin's Creed ones. The other variants are the only ones foil, so like the Exodus ones are a good pickup, but that's not a foil. So EDH players like foil sometimes too. So I kind of don't have a preference between the universes beyond Assassin's Creed and the Secret Lair, considering the art on both of those is kind of ugly. So I don't think there's a bad Reconnaissance to buy. Honestly, it's never been cheaper. We got 2 printings real recently. I think they're probably going to leave it alone for a while. And all 3 possible versions are going to go back up because Reconnaissance is played a lot, and they're not going to stop printing commanders that said when your commander attacks. They love to do that. They love to make us attack with our goddamn commanders now. So if you're in white, this helps you not send your 3/5 into like just a 1/1 death touch, and then you lose your commander and got to pay 9 mana to get it back. Like asshole. Just use Reconnaissance and keep everybody safe.
All right, I'll tell you. You mentioned Assassin's Creed.
I did.
This is a card that I found recently from that set that I put into a deck or 2 of mine, and it's an actual bulk uncommon, I think. But are you familiar with Alexios?
Yeah.
Deimos of Cosmos. So for people who don't,
so if you buy a bundle of Assassin's Creed, like a bundle with like 10 packs, you're gonna get 4 of this card, which is why it's not expensive.
Right, it's not expensive. You should put it in.
I have the extended art foil, the non-extended art, and the non-extended art foil.
There's a bunch of them.
A bundle.
Yeah, there's a lot. So here's the thing. The card is great, though. It's a 4-mana, 4/4 trample. It attacks each combat if able, can't be sacrificed, and can't attack its owner. Okay, you've got it. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, they get Alexios. It gets a 1/1 counter in haste. So you play the thing, say on turn 3 with a mana rock. Immediately you pass the turn, and the next player takes this thing and attacks one of your opponents for 5. They pass the turn. Their next player gets it, attacks someone for 6, and so on. Like immediate.
You just introduce this guy to the game, and let him go, and he just like up every other player. It's amazing.
So fast. It's huge. Anyway, card's insane.
And it's currently 15 cents on Mana Box or Mana Pool because it's everybody has lots of these. If you have any Assassin's Creed, you have a bunch of these. I kind of don't love the alternate art either. It looks a bit too...
It's a little odd.
It looks like a Game Informer magazine spread about the game.
Yeah, I have it in paper, and it does. It looks a little odd.
But this is a weird set because there are random like $8 uncommons in it because everything is equally rare. Like you open a bundle, you will get 1 Brotherhood Regalia because it's not a legendary creature. It's weird. But Brotherhood Regalia is a $5 uncommon from that set. It's worth more than quite a few of the rares. So, like, rarity kind of doesn't matter in that Assassin's Creed stuff, and I think it was bought so little because it was like a $75 bundle that like I think a lot of that stuff has the potential to go up a lot. And if you're buying specs, people are going to be able to send you these rares 4 or 5 at a time because anybody that opened a box got a lot of the same rares. It's a small set.
Yeah.
It's beyond boosters. They're not very, very deep.
Well, it's interesting to follow it, I guess. We'll see. Like, not a lot of people bought it. Does that mean it's scarce? And a year from now, 2 years from now, some of these cards might go wild. Like, there's swords in there with unique art. I don't know.
Or does that just mean that it's, like, undesirable?
Exactly. Yeah. Well, it'll be fun to follow.
And that means, like, all that good reprint equity kind of, like... Are a bunch of Swords of Feast and Famine, Assassin's Trophy, and Black Market Connections going to hit the market as a result of this set or not if people aren't busting it?
Yeah.
We're in this really weird space where, like, it feels like we've been in this Secret Lair Universes Beyond world for, like, a decade, when the first Universes Beyond ever wasn't even called that. It was, like, what, 2020? Maybe 2021? It was The Walking Dead,
What was that,
right?
Walking Dead, yeah.
Like, we're like 3-ish years into this, and we have no idea how a lot of this stuff's going to behave, and things are changing all the time. We can just make educated guesses.
Yeah.
But, like, who knows what Assassin's Creed cards are going to look like 2 years from now?
Yeah, exactly. A lot of scarcity involved.
But
we'll see how...
It's weird.
They also are going to move... Like, listen, Lord of the Rings cards went up over the past month. Rings of Power Season 2 premiered in the past month. Like, these are... real things that may be driving card prices now. So,
well, Fallout 5 comes out sometime next decade, and
the next season of Fallout on Amazon.
Yeah, the next season of Fallout on Amazon
is going to spike. It's going to spike the Fallout cards again. Watch.
I do have a small anecdote kind of related to this about. There's this card game called Universes. It's like a bunch of different animes or whatever. Each like franchise gets a single set, and it's like a crossover game.
That's wild. I like that. Actually, that's anime power scaling, and that'll cause more arguments than anything. Anyway, go ahead.
They announced the Netflix series for Cowboy Bebop, and I was like, these booster boxes that were like $80 MSRP are like $15 right now, so I bought a bunch of them. And I got out of a bunch of them at like a real number because people were just like interested in that again because of the Netflix series. Like, I think I got out of my bed. The highest I sold the box for was like $300.
Wow.
And that was like right after the series came out on Netflix and before people realized it was bad.
Well, I do, yeah. I think there's going to be more of that sort of thing.
So I never watched it. I'm like a medium Cowboy Bebop fan. Like, it's cool aesthetics. It is worse than Samurai Champloo to me, but like some people love it. The anime,
the live action on Netflix is not better than the Cowboy Bebop anime, but it's better than a lot of anime.
I mean, sure.
I don't know if people are ready to admit that, but like, it wasn't that bad. I realize that Cowboy Bebop is very good, and anytime somebody's favorite, you're going to make them mad by doing it. I get that, but like, man.
All right, everyone. I think that does it for us this week. Thank you so much for listening to Brainstorm Brewery. We appreciate our sponsors, MTGstocks, and of course, Coalesce Apparel and Design. You can use the gift code Brainstorm Brewery there. And all of our Patreons at patreon.com/BSB. You are, of course, who truly make this podcast possible, allow us to take care of our editors.
Don't tell them that. Don't know how much power they have in Unionize.
Well, if they do it at patreon.com/BSB, we can talk about it. So everyone, thank you for listening to Brainstorm Brewery. We'll see you next week.